The life and sad ending of Charley Pride. Charley Frank Pride was born on March 18, 1934, in Sledge, Mississippi, the fourth of 11 children of poor sharecroppers. His father intended to name him Charles Frank Pride, but owing to a clerical error on his birth certificate, his legal name was Charley Frank Pride. 8 boys and 3 girls were in the family. His elder brother, Mac Pride, played Negro League baseball before entering the ministry. Along with his life of ups and downs as Rosine, Pride met his wife Rosine while playing baseball in Memphis, Tennessee. They married in 1956 while Pride was on Christmas leave from Army basic training, and had 2 sons, Craig and Dion, and a daughter, Angela. They also had 5 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. They resided in Dallas. Charley Pride was an American singer, guitarist, and professional baseball player. The story of his life is a wonderful art picture. When Pride was 14, his mother purchased him his first guitar and he taught himself to play. Though he loved music, one of Pride's lifelong dreams was to become a professional baseball player. In 1952, he pitched for the Memphis Red Sox of the Negro American League. In 1953, he signed a contract with the Boise Yankees, the Class C farm team of the New York Yankees. In 1956, was drafted into the United States Army after basic training. He was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, where he was a quartermaster and played on the fort's baseball team. That team won the All-Army Sports Championship. When discharged in 1958, he rejoined the Memphis Red Sox. He tried to return to baseball, though hindered by an injury to his throwing arm. In 1960, Pride played 3 games for the Missoula Timberjacks of the Pioneer League, and had tryouts with the California Angels and the New York Mets organizations, but was not picked up by either team. In 1960, when he was laid off by the Timberjacks, he moved to work construction in Helena, Montana. He was recruited to pitch for the local semi-pro baseball team, the East Helena Smelterites. By natural talent, Pride's singing ability soon came to the attention of the team manager, who also paid him to sing for 15 minutes before each game, which increased attendance and earned Pride another $10 on top of the $10 he earned for each game. He also played gigs in the local area, both solo and with a band called the Night Hawks. During those years, his hardships caused many to hear, unsurpassed. His job at the smelter was dangerous and difficult. He once broke his ankle. He routinely unloaded coal from railroad cars, shoveling it into a 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit furnace while keeping clear of slag, a task which frequently gave him burns. Between his smelter job and his music, he made a good living in the Helena area. He moved his wife and son to join him and they lived in Helena. In 1967, the Pride family moved to Great Falls, Montana, because Pride's music career was taking off and he required quick access to an airport. The family ultimately left Montana and moved to Texas in 1969. In 1958, in Memphis, Pride visited Sun Studio and recorded some songs. While he was active in baseball, Pride had been encouraged to join the music business by country stars such as Red Sovine and Red Foley and was working towards this career. With beginnings in music, he performed his music solo at clubs and with a 4-piece combo called the Night Hawks during the time he lived in Montana. In 1965, Pride was signed to RCA Victor. The Snakes Crawl at Night did not chart. On the records of this song submitted to radio stations for airplay, the singer was listed as Country Charley Pride. Pride disputes that the omission of a photo was deliberate. He stated that getting promoters to bring in a black country singer was a bigger problem. People didn't care if I was pink. RCA signed me. They knew I was colored. They decided to put the record out and let it speak for itself. In 1966, he released his first RCA Victor single, The Snakes Crawl at Night. Nashville manager and agent Jack D. Johnson signed Pride. While living in Montana, he continued to sing at local clubs, and in Great Falls had an additional boost to his career when he befriended local businessman Lewis Allen Al Donahue, who owned radio stations, including KMON, the first stations to play Pride's records in Montana. His efforts previously paid off in his success. Just Between You and Me was enormous. Pride was nominated for a Grammy Award for the song the next year. In the late summer of 1966, on the strength of his early releases, he was booked for his first large show, in Detroit's Olympia Stadium. Since no biographical information had been included with those singles, few of the 10,000 country fans who came to the show knew Pride was black, and only discovered the fact when he walked onto the stage, at which point the applause trickled off to silence. "I knew I'd have to get it over with sooner or later," Pride later remembered. "I told the audience, friends, I realize it's a little unique, me coming out here, with a permanent suntan, to sing country and western to you. But that's the way it is." The show became the first of a long and active career playing to large audiences. His race soon became a minor detail compared to his success. "Come here while making this video I cried because of the racism, and its inadequacies." Between 1969 and 1971, Pride had 8 singles that reached number 1 on the U.S. Country Hit Parade and also charted on the Billboard Hot 100. "All I Have to Offer You," "Afraid of Losing You Again," "I Can't Believe That You've Stopped Loving Me," "I'd Rather Love You," "Is Anybody Goin' to San Antonio," "Wonder Could I Live There Anymore," "I Am Just Me," and "Kiss an Angel Good Mornin'." In the 1960s and early 1970s, the pop success of these songs reflected the country-pop crossover sound that was reaching country music known as countrypolitan. In 1969, his compilation album, The Best of Charley Pride, sold more than 1 million copies and was awarded a gold disc. Ultimately, Elvis Presley was the only artist who sold more records than Pride for RCA Victor. Pride performed All His Children, featured in the film Sometimes a Great Notion. The film received 2 Oscar nominations in 1972, one for All His Children. In 1971, Pride released what would become his biggest hit, Kiss an Angel Good Mornin', a million-selling crossover single. The same year, he won the Country Music Association's Entertainer of the Year award, as well as its Top Male Vocalist award in 1971 and 1972. Kiss an Angel Good Mornin' became Pride's signature tune. Besides being a 5-week country number 1 in late 1971 and early 1972, the song was also his only pop top 40 hit, hitting number 21, and reaching the top 10 of the adult contemporary charts, as well. During the rest of the 1970s and into the 1980s, Pride continued to rack up country music hits. Other Pride standards from this period include Mississippi Cotton-Picking Delta Town, Someone Loves You, Honey, When I Stop Leavin', Burgers, and Fries, I Don't Think She's in Love Anymore, Roll on Mississippi, Never Been So Loved, and You're So Good When You're Bad. Like many other country performers, Pride paid tribute to Hank Williams, with an album of songs that were all written by Hank titled There's a Little Bit of Hank in Me, which included top sellers of Williams' classics Caliga, Honky Tonk Blues, and You Win Again. Pride sold more than 70 million records. In 1975, Pride's agent sold a 40-date tour package to a United Kingdom booking agent, who onward sold 4 dates to the Dublin-based Irish music promoter Jim Aiken. At the time, the Troubles were at their height, and few non-resident kinds of music and sports teams traveled there. Aiken subsequently traveled to Pride's winter 1975 to 1976 concert in Ohio and persuaded Pride to play one of the concerts at Belfast's Ritz Cinema. Pride played the concert in November 1976, with his album song Crystal Chandeliers subsequently being released as a single in the UK and Ireland. Pride subsequently became a hero to both sides of the conflict for breaking the effective touring concert ban. His song Crystal Chandeliers was seen as a unity song, and the success of Pride's visit enabled Aiken to book further acts into Northern Ireland after his appearance. On May 1, 1993, Pride became a member of the Grand Ole Opry. He celebrated his 25th anniversary of becoming a member with performances at the Opry on May 4 and 5, 2018. In 2016, Pride was selected as one of 30 artists to perform on Forever Country, a mashup track of Take Me Home, Country Roads, On the Road Again, and I Will Always Love You, which celebrates 50 years of the Country Music Association Awards. Pride released his first album in 6 years, titled Music in My Heart, on July 7, 2017. In 2020, the CMA announced that Pride would receive the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award at the 54th Country Music Association Awards in recognition of his work in the genre. The CEO of the CMA explained that Charley Pride is the epitome of a trailblazer. Few other artists have grown country music's rich heritage and led to the advancement of country music around the world like Charley. His distinctive voice has created a timeless legacy that continues to echo through the country community today. We could not be more excited to honor Charley with one of CMA's highest accolades. During the peak years of his recording career from 1966 to 1987, he had 52 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, 30 of which made it to number 1. Pride was one of 3 African-American members of the Grand Ole Opry. The others are Defford Bailey and Darius Rucker. He was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2000. The story closes the life of Pride, who died in Dallas on December 12, 2020, due to complications associated with COVID-19. He is 86 years old. 2020 is a terrible year for the world country music scene. We lost Kenny Rogers, Charlie Daniels, and Charley Pride, just to name a few. I hope 2021 will really be a better year. Dear Charley Pride, thank you for all indelible memories in the minds of fans. In the afterlife, smile.